In 2026, driver releases have been crazy, but this could be some of the biggest news that I've heard on driver releases in the last 10 to 15 years. You will not believe, I've just got off the phone with the guys at TaylorMade and we've been discussing 2027's TaylorMade driver releases. Yes, I know it's, what is it, Bob, the 13th of May, 14th of May. I got the wrong date on my watch, but we have some rather big news, and I think it's news that, to be honest, will shake the industry. I think it's news that I welcome wholeheartedly, and it's news about a brand new driver which will split opinion, and some people will think it's a huge publicity stunt, but others will think it's a breath of fresh air. You see, you could say that TaylorMade have been on a little bit of a kind of generational run when it comes to driver releases. We all know that even back in the Sim days, the Sim 2 days, M5, M6, then we had QI 10, QI 35. Bloody hell, we forgot Stealth and Stealth 2, Bob. But they've been game changers for quite some time. And I think they've been the #1 people's driver. Maybe not the #1 driver in tour, but this year with the QI 40, they've won the first 2 drives of the year, of course, the Masters and the ladies. Masters. I'm really excited, Bob. We'd finished work for the day, hadn't we? And we had and anyway, I've had to ring Bob up and be like, Bob, there's breaking news happening tomorrow. So when we speak about TaylorMade's new driver for 2026 or 27, it's this. TaylorMade have taken the plunge in saying now in May 2026, the QI 4D will be their driver of next year. Now, there's a lot to compact here. There's a lot to take in because I'm a huge fan. You may have seen just last week, I put the TaylorMade QI 4D core head in the bag to test with my Oban shaft in. We don't have that today because that's having the ferrule done, isn't it, Lawrence? But I want to talk about this because I think it's a huge thing that TaylorMade are doing. They've obviously made lots and lots of sales. I believe the sales are kind of circa 30% up. They've won the Masters this year. Everyone's really happy. They've returned to a shape that everyone loves. And even with this QI 4D Max head that I've got here, I think this is one of the heads that's a little bit even more of a game changer because yes, we have that carbon sole, we have the inertia generator back here, but we also have those movable weights. So movable weights in their most forgiving driver is an outrageous proposition to have. We have that kind of new face bulge as well. So we know that we have that face radius that allows us to have more consistent spin rates, improved roll radius. That's why you're here, Bob. I'm all over the place, aren't I? My head's still in hospital, to be fair, with my little boy, but right, let's hit some shots and let's discuss TaylorMade's essentially 2027 driver. Bob, that's 110 club speed. So straight off the bat there, 110 club speed, 161 ball speed and 282 yards total. You know, when we test drives and we go for all these fittings and we're like, oh, make sure you get the right shaft and make sure you get this and make sure you get that. I'm going to be totally honest here. Having a really forgiving head like this Max head with a through slot speed pocket with that carbon, look at that, with that carbon face and with the heavier weight forward, just allows that spin rate to drop while still generating a nice launch. So I've been a huge fan of that. But what I think a lot of people will be saying, even in the comments of this video, because at 3 p.m. UK time, this is going to become common knowledge, which is why you may feel like this video is a little bit rushed. We found out 15 minutes ago. And I think a lot of people, by this video isn't rushed. And if you do enjoy these videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button and throw a like on the video because it means such a lot to me and a lot to Bobby. But what I think a lot of people are going to be saying here is, ha, TaylorMade have run out of ideas. They're the same people who last year would say, oh, TaylorMade releasing another driver. I think here we have to give TaylorMade huge props for evaluating that, first of all, they've got a fantastic product and they wouldn't be able to have done this. I don't think they could have done this last year. Like everyone says, oh, we were happy with the QI 35 and whatever. It was all right. But the QI 4D is an absolute monster and an absolute beast. And that core head, which goes back to the shape of the QI 10 core head, I think they just admitted defeat. They were like, no, you know what? We're going to have it as this shape. We're going to have it looking like it did. And we're going to have it performing with those 4-way weights. Oh, and by the way, when it comes to the forgiving version, we'll have movable weights in there as well. So really giving people what they want. And the beauty about that is, I'm going to hit another one, Bob. But think about the confidence it's going to give people to go out and buy a QI 4D now. Because you're going to have a 2-year cycle pretty much of this. Look at that. Look at that. And I bet this will be music to the ears of golfers like Rory McIlroy, of golfers who have got these in the bag. Because a lot of times if you've got a club that you like, you don't want to change it. You don't want to keep chopping and changing because you might generate an 1/8 mile an hour more ball speed. You might generate a tiny bit more MOI, a little bit more forgiveness. And with this, if you were thinking about going and buying, for example, the brand new Titleist GTS range of drivers, which just got released this week, you think, well, that's okay, but when's it going to be and you're already thinking about, when is this driver going to be obsolete? When's it going to run out? And I used to think that, and I'm sure, Bobby, if you were buying a driver now, would you be thinking about, well, how long's the life cycle and when's a new one coming?
Yeah.
Well, that's straight away what you're thinking, isn't it? So the fact that we're in, it's like buying, can we show them all your new iPhone, Bob? 'Cause it looks really, really nice, that. Look at that, you're really happy with that, aren't you? That's a tax off that if I've ever seen one, right? But all of a sudden now, we're still in May, so the golf season's only just started. We've had bad weather here in the UK. I don't know about you guys over in the States, but this means if you're yet to buy your 2026 driver, you can waltz into American Golf, your local pro shop, Dick's Sporting Goods, PGA Tour Superstore, SGGT, go and get fitted and have this for 2 years knowing it's not going to be obsolete, they're not going to throw anything at you that is supposedly better. I say the word supposedly there. Oh, that's the first time I've done that, but I've nearly whacked that full swing monitor out. But you can have the confidence in knowing that it's not going to be an old driver. That shouldn't make a difference, but I know for a lot of people it does. That's an absolute rocket. How low is that launching, by the way? You know, to say it's the max version. So we have lots of fantastic offerings. We have the LS, we have the Max, and we of course have the Core Head. That's spun at 2,000. And it's a lovely 275-yard drive. There's one other thing that I want to get off my chest in this video, because I'm really happy about this, and I want to hear you guys, what you're saying in the comments. But there's another driver that it brings into question. Go on, let's discuss. So Bob, interestingly, you went and got fitted for like QI, I think you end up in QI4D, didn't you, SGGT?
Yeah.
You didn't buy it because of the price.
Yeah.
Would you be more likely now to spend that money knowing it's going to be a 2-year cycle?
Yeah, I'd be much more inclined to buy it because I know that it's going to have more longevity than, you know, thinking, oh, if I buy it now in
Because
May,
what you're in now, you're in QI10, aren't you?
Still in
So
QI10,
actually, you and your 2-year cycle would be a lot happier, wouldn't you?
Oh, much more happy. I will actually think about buying it now.
I'd be interested to see if it stays a 2-year cycle now, and if other brands actually look at that. But Bob getting a new driver.
Ooh.
So you can say to Mrs. Bob, look, it's 2 years, love.
Yeah.
Like the toaster will last that long, the kettle, the ironing board, everything. And there'll be a huge question on lots of golfers' lips as well. Why? Why are TaylorMade doing this? Why are they announcing it now? And why would you just say, kind of break the habit of a lifetime almost? So for me, I think they're massively recognising, first of all, the success of the driver, which is nice. I think when you do have a product that's good, the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? If it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. And that's certainly what they're doing with this. The other thing that I think subliminally I'm taking from this is you speak about people's disposable income at the moment. Life's hard at the moment. Petrol's expensive, food's expensive, milk's expensive, golf balls are expensive. Golf is a hobby that can get very, very expensive, especially if you're wanting the best product out there. Now, if TaylorMade as a company is saying, look, we've made a fantastic product here and we know that we're not really going to be able to do too much to that. We know it's going to compete with Titleist new driver. We know it's going to compete with Ping, with Callaway, with all the big brands. And speaking of those, where does this leave them? Because they will already know what's coming next year, what's coming the year after. If you were very, very skeptical, you could say, oh, they must have problems with building whatever would be coming and whatever. I don't think that. I think they've actually read the room, which for a big company isn't often an easy thing to do, and gone, you know what? People don't want to go and spend £500 this year and £500 next year, because the actual buying cycle of a driver is more like 3 to 4 years. And this one's that good, I can only imagine the sales spike that TaylorMade might see today or this week or this month, and they go, yeah, that was well worth doing that. And the driver in question that I was mentioning is, of course, this, because I think this now, I think it has to be said, is TaylorMade's best driver roundup ever. We've of course got the different heads in the QI4D. We've got the core head, the Max and the LS. The LS is a driver which I wish I was good enough to use, but unfortunately I just don't think I am. But the R7 certainly is a driver that most golfers, if not all golfers, are good enough to use. I love this thing. I've actually put a Jumbo Max grip on it, so I feel like I'm really, really consistent with this. This is a driver that brings into question, does this stay? Is the whole lineup staying? We know the QI4D is going to be a stayer. Do we maybe get a QI4D mini driver or something like that? Whenever I hear news like this, I feel like I have to question it. I have to probe in and be like, right, what else can we pick from this? And I don't think it's actually that deep. I think it's a case of, it's a good driver. People are skint at the moment. We're all feeling the pinch a little bit. I think Ping did something similar to this during COVID. I might be wrong. But you look at the lineup now, and realistically, oh, Bob, look at that. You know, funnily enough, we've been testing mini drivers today, haven't we? And I haven't hit one that good ever. That's absolutely outrageous. So that certainly is kind of food for thought. But I want to leave you on this. I'm taking one of my best friends for a club fitting tomorrow that you guys will all see. He's had it booked for a long time, and he wants to document it. He wants to see it, and it's going to be a really good video. But now, if I'm stood at the side of him as a friend, but also as a PGA pro and someone who you would like to think knows apples from onions a little bit, and he says, James, I'm hitting the QI4D pretty well. I'm hitting the new Titleist well. I'm hitting the Quantum well. I'm hitting the Ping well. What would you go with? And I'd say, well, you know that's going to last you 2 years, don't you? It won't be obsolete. And I think that'll answer so many people's buying questions. I really, really do. Guys, go in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Let's hit one down there and see if I can be as accurate with this as I was the R7. Guys, thank you so much for your time there. If you've enjoyed it, smash that subscribe button below. TaylorMade's new driver for 2027. It's not that's not what they're trying to get across, but basically, she's here to stay. See you tomorrow. Subscribe. No wonder they're keeping it on, Bob. You can snap up one out of bounds, and you can have a shot in for your second shot. That must have hit something very hard. Tell the world. Ooh.